the bread kitchen. Today I'm going to make a slipper out of dough, or what the Italians call ciabatta. The first thing I need to make is a starter, or what's known as a biga, and for that I've got 240 grams of strong white flour, and here there's a teaspoon of yeast added to half a cup of lukewarm water. And I'm going to add the water into the flour a bit at a time and mix it in. Don't worry, I'm always throwing my whisks around. It makes me feel more Italian. What you're looking for is to add enough water to make a firm dough. It's not at all sticky, it's quite firm. Now knead the dough on a floured surface for about 5 minutes until it's nice and elastic. Once it's nice and smooth and elastic, pop it into a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with some plastic film and leave it in a warm place overnight. So here's my biga, and the reason it's called a biga is because it gets bigger. Now here I've got 2 teaspoons of yeast, which I've suspended in 250 ml of water. I'm going to mix this all together. You might need to whisk it to make it smooth, but once it is nice and smooth, add in 3 tablespoons of milk. Then gradually mix in 340 grams of strong flour. Oh, this is lovely and messy. You can have great fun with the kids with this. And what you'll end up with is this incredibly sticky, wet dough. Now, add in a teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil and mix that in. It's really sticky, but make sure it's well mixed by pulling the bottom up to the top and pressing it in. Right, I think I'm done here. Of course, the hardest part is getting it off your hands. Now I'll transfer the dough to a nice, clean, oiled bowl. Then I'll cover it and leave it in a nice warm place until it's doubled in size. It lives, it breathes, master, and look, it's got a little knobbly bit on the side. So I'll just take off this plastic. Alright, that's looking quite good. I'm going to take that away and replace it with a very well floured baking sheet. And then I'm going to pour about half the dough onto this sheet because I'm going to make 2 ciabattas. And the reason I'm making 2 is obviously because you have to have slippers in pairs. Quite tricky this bit actually. Cut it with a spoon or a knife or something. Alrighty. Now I've covered my hands in flour. I'm just going to pull this into a longer shape and press it out till it's about 1 inch thick. I'm not going to knock the dough back, so I want to keep whatever air is in there. Okay, now I'll do the same with the other half of the dough. Now I'll sprinkle these with flour and then just leave them in a warm place for about half an hour to rise. These are just lovely, so now I'm going to stick them in my fan oven at 190 degrees C for about 20 minutes. After about 20 minutes, your slippers should be this lovely golden colour. Now leave them to cool. This bread is absolutely delicious and has this wonderful open structure inside. I always think one of the nicest ways to eat ciabatta is as bruschetta, and underneath this video there's a link to my recipe for bruschetta. I hope you enjoy making your ciabatta. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in the bread kitchen.